हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम। इस वक्त मैं मौजूद हूँ कन्वेंशन सेंटर इस्लामाबाद में और मेरे साथ हैं तेहरान यूनिवर्सिटी के प्रोफेसर मरांडी। बड़े मारूफ स्कॉलर हैं, इन्होंने पीएचडी कर रखा है। बरतानिया में ये रह चुके हैं और अमेरिका को बहुत अच्छे तरीके से जानते हैं। एक थिंक टैंक से मुंसलिक रहे हैं जहाँ पर अमेरिकन स्टडीज को, अमेरिकन इश्यूज को ये देखा करते थे, वेस्ट को देखा करते थे और तेहरान यूनिवर्सिटी के बड़े वोकल प्रोफेसर्स में जाने जाते हैं। जो वफद आया है ईरान से, उस वफद के साथ प्रोफेसर मरांडी भी हैं। आइए इनसे बात करते हैं। Thank you, Professor Marandi.
Thank you.
Professor Marandi, how you see where these talks are heading?
We don't trust the Americans. They are pro-Zionist. Trump has turned out to be Israel first, like previous presidents, but probably much more crude. We have negotiated with Americans in the past, and they were deceitful before the 12-day war. We had indirect talks, and they were secretly conspiring to launch a war. And then before this war again, we were negotiating. The Omani foreign minister said that there was significant progress, but they attacked us again. Not that we were fooled. We knew that they were going to do this, but we held the negotiation so that the international community would recognize that the problem is not Iran and that it is the United States that's dishonest. So this time around, we are here. We don't trust Americans. They have not carried out their commitments. The Pakistani Prime Minister has said explicitly that, for example, Lebanon, a ceasefire there was a part of the deal, and they're still slaughtering women and children in Lebanon.
But there is a difference this time. This time, Pakistan is hosting and mediating these talks. How you see the situation now, with compared to the previous ones?
You know, as well as I, if not much better, that Iranians love the people of Pakistan. We have a very similar culture, a very similar worldview, religious wise, historically, and Pakistan is like home to us. We're very comfortable here. But the United States is not our friend, and the United States is completely dishonest, and therefore, no matter how sincere our Pakistani friends are, uh, we have zero faith in the Americans.
How likely is that a truce will come out from the sitting?
It's very difficult to say.
Are you ready to show flexibility?
We've already shown more than enough flexibility. It's the other side that has to abide by its commitments. If there are any commitments to be made, if there are any promises to be made, both sides have to carry them out. And we've already seen that the American side does not abide by its commitments. We've seen that the American side is dishonest.
Who you think is the spoiler in this whole process?
Well, without any doubt, it's the Zionist regime. But the problem is that the Trump regime is beholden to Zionism. And these are Israeli firsters that are in the White House. So ultimately, if Trump is going to serve US interests, then there will be quiet in the region. There will be an end to the hostilities. There will be an end to the slaughter. But already we're seeing just today, we're in a ceasefire in Gaza. But just today, they've been slaughtering more Palestinians in Gaza. And this is Trump's ceasefire. So we cannot trust Trump, and we cannot trust anything that he says or his people say at the negotiating table.
But sorry, you are talking to JD Vance. It's not Trump.
It's the same thing. For us, the only thing that is important is actions, not promises. We don't believe anything that they say. We will not trust anything that they say.
In your demand.
We will not believe in anything they say or trust in anything they say. The only thing that is important for us is what is what happens on the ground. If they carry out their commitments, then we can move forward. But if they don't carry out their commitments and just promise things, it makes no difference to us. We are prepared to go back to war.
What is the minimum level which would satisfy you, and you'll come and you'll agree that yes, you would have a shake hand and you will have a truce?
Well, shaking hands is one thing, but a truce is already possible. We've already spoken about what needs to be done.
What is the minimum level?
For the Americans to be honest and to carry out their commitments. Already, your prime minister has said that Lebanon was included in the comprehensive ceasefire, but they're killing kids right now. So obviously, the Americans are lying. If the Americans stopped the Israeli regime from killing kids, if they had the incentive to stop killing kids, then it would stop. So for us, the only thing that matters is actions. We're not a country that is going to be intimidated by the United States. We've already seen that during the war. We're not a country that believes in their empty promises. We're not naive. If they carry out their commitments, then we'll be moving towards peace. If they don't, we're prepared for war.
Yes. Yes.
What compelled US to come on the negotiations table?
The strength of the people of Iran, the strength of the people within the axis of resistance, the resilience of the supporters of Hezbollah in Lebanon, Ansarullah in Yemen, the resistance in Iraq, and of course the resistance in Iran. If it wasn't for the people and the fact that they believe that ethno-supremacism is completely unacceptable and that the slaughter of Palestinians is completely unacceptable, and if it wasn't for the courage of the people of Iran and the people across the axis of resistance, the Americans would have defeated us. Our armed forces are powerful, but they're powerful because they have belief, they have faith, and they're on the side of the right. They have chosen to protect West Asia from imperialism and ethno-supremacism and colonization.
Professor, would you mind sharing, when we see the international media and we also see the Iranian media, we find that there are 5 key points where Iran and United States, they are at poles apart. One of them is the control of the Strait of Hormuz. Would your delegation press that you want to have the control of the Strait of Hormuz, that you'll receive the toll fee from all the vessels?
We are in charge of the Strait of Hormuz, and we will remain in charge of the Strait of Hormuz. The United States should not have carried out this war. Before, we had a different set of circumstances. We're not going back to that time. Those countries that assisted the United States in aggression against our country, in our region, those who hosted US bases, and whose airspace and territory was used to kill little Iranian girls, those countries will have to pay reparations. And the Strait of Hormuz will be controlled so that in future the United States will not be able to use the Persian Gulf as a staging ground to bomb Iran, to bomb Iraq, to bomb Syria, Lebanon, or Yemen, as they've done in the past.
If Americans don't pay you repression, and instead of paying repression, they lift all the sanctions, would you agree, and your delegation agree on that term?
The Strait of Hormuz, its status has changed. It has changed permanently.
What about the nuclear? America wants that you should not have the enriched uranium. Would you press having the enriched uranium, or you will find some mutual ground?
We've already found mutual ground in the past. We've had negotiations with the Americans. We had the nuclear deal in 2015, and it was the Americans under Obama that violated the deal, and under Trump that tore up the deal. But to give up our nuclear rights, that's impossible.
One of your demand is that America should leave that particular region. America should leave the Gulf and that area. Don't you think that the countries over there, they claim that they are the sovereign countries to have agreement with any country? Don't you think that on this particular account, you would show, or your delegation would show, some kind of flexibility?
All American bases in the Persian Gulf region have already been destroyed. And those countries that hosted US bases are complicit in the murder of Iranians. Hosting bases of other countries is one thing. Allowing those bases to be used against third parties is something else. Those regimes, each and every one of them, will pay compensation. And in future, we will not allow the Persian Gulf region to be a platform for aggression. It will never happen
By
again.
your conversation, I'm taking this that after this particular war, the way the ceasefire has taken place, Iran has become a leader of this particular area. Do you think that the other Gulf countries will accept the hegemony of Iran in that particular region?
The issue is not Iranian hegemony, and it's not just Iran, it's Iran and the axis of resistance. Those countries chose to be proxies of the United States. Those countries have allowed the Palestinian people to be massacred for 2.5 years. They have brought this upon the region themselves. The U.S. ambassador to occupied Palestine has said very openly that if the Israeli regime takes the whole region, it's fine. And these regimes have done nothing, whether in Turkey or whether in Saudi Arabia or Jordan or other countries in the region. They've all been effectively mute, except for lip service for the Palestinian people sometimes. Uh, that's not Iranian hegemony. What Iran is saying is that we will not allow Iranians to be slaughtered, and we will not allow the Palestinian people to be exterminated. If they consider this to be Iranian hegemony, then I think they have serious problems.
Are you ready to separately sit with the Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Oman, Qatar, Kuwait, Iraq?
We've been speaking with all of the countries in the Persian Gulf region.
But now there is a new situation.
The new situation is that we will not allow our country to be bombed by the United States from these countries, and for these countries to get away with it. Of course, Oman and Iraq have not been a part of this aggression.
Yes.
The other countries, though, they're all complicit. They've been complicit in murdering little Iranian girls at an elementary school, let alone all the others that have been murdered. And they cannot say that US bases in our countries are being used, or US forces in our countries are using our territory to kill us, to kill Iranians, but we are neutral. They can't have their cake and eat it too. And by trying to have their cake and eat it too, they have neither a cake and they've gone hungry.
My last part of this interview, how you see that, how the issue of Israel will be resolved? Will it, will you hold separate talks with Israel, as Pakistan doesn't have the diplomatic ties with Israel, but the problem is there?
We will never accept the legitimacy of ethno-supremacism. We will never accept it as legally as legitimate or as morally legitimate. There has to be a one-state solution for Palestine, where all people are equal. It is very interesting that the West, which pretends that it cares about human rights, completely dishonest, all fake. They support ethno-supremacism, they support genocide, and we are being attacked, bombed, demonized because we're saying no to genocide and no to ethno-supremacism.
Last question, how you see these talks? Where are they heading? Are we going to have some good news?
Depends on the Americans. We are not naive, and we are not here because we trust the Americans or that we will trust anything that they write down on a piece of paper. The signature of Trump is worthless to us.
What is the guarantee?
Actions on the ground.
And what other guarantee you want? China, Russia, or any other country?
I'm not a part of the negotiations, no, but the only thing that matters for us is actions. We have to see change on the ground. When you see bombs falling on Lebanon and women and children being slaughtered, it doesn't matter if the Americans say that they will bring a ceasefire or a halt to the killing. That doesn't matter to us. What matters is that the killing must stop. What matters is the actions of the United States. A piece of paper, a handshake for us is meaningless. We are not intimidated. We're prepared to go back to war. We're prepared to go back to war today, next week, or a month from now. The only thing that we care for is justice for the Palestinian people, justice for the Lebanese people, justice for our region, and that is something that will only happen if it is forced upon the empire.
Thank you, Professor. Nice to talk to you, and we hope that these talks come out successfully and we have a peaceful region. Thank you.
Thank you, and
Thank
my
you, Professor.
greetings to all of our sisters and brothers in your wonderful country.
थैंक यू प्रोफेसर मरांडी की गुफ्तगू आपने सुनी, बड़े क्लियर हैं अपने मौक़िफ़ में, और जैसा कि इनकी गुफ्तगू से दिखता है चीज़ें उसी वक्त आगे बेहतरी की तरफ बढ़ेंगी जब अमेरिका सिंसियरिटी दिखाएगा। ये इनका मौक़िफ़ है। एजाज़ सईद को इजाज़त दीजिए।